The Lowell George Band left this area and headed for Washington. After the show at the Listener Auditorium, there was the usual flood of interviews. Lowell had been treating what he and his wife and road manager Gene Vano thought was a cold with strictly over-the-counter patent medicines. Some interviews during the tour had to be canceled to save his voice for upcoming shows. Interviews in Washington after that show lasted until the next morning. Road manager Gene Vano.
At about 10 o'clock, his wife, so now I'm sleeping for about an hour, so I'm exhausted, and I know he was exhausted because we had been together. His wife had to get the maid to let her into my room because I wasn't responding to my phone or knocks, and she said, Gene, come on in the room because Lowell was having difficulty breathing. So I ran in, and he was a heavy guy, and he was laying on his stomach with his arm under his body, under himself, and we felt that like laying on his arm was putting undue pressure on his chest, and so I rolled him over because she couldn't do it. He was exhausted. I got him off his arm, and he seemed to breathe easier. This is about 10 o'clock in the morning. Not a major change, but I mean, you could hear him struggling for breath, but now we've had 3 or 4 days of a cold, so we figure he's really exhausted, and the cold is making him, breathe hard. Plus he's resting on his arm, constricting his chest. We rolled him off it. He breathed a little easier. I went back to my room. A half hour later, she came and got me again and said, I don't think he's breathing at all. I ran in, and there was no breath. We started to give him mouth-to-mouth and rubbing him and, those kind of things. She went to the phone, called the hotel to call emergency. The hotel sent a trained guy in within a few minutes who gave him better CPR or whatever they call it than I was doing and than she was doing. And at that point, it got a little bit strange because the hotel, a girl who worked in the hotel came in with this guy. And while he was doing the mouth-to-mouth, the girl said, I feel a slight pulse. So that, not that it made the situation easy at that point, but like I had a little feeling of, oh, it was going to be cool. And then the medics came in, and they pulled Lowell onto the floor and put that life machine on him, the thing that determines, whatever it determines. But they worked for a matter of maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and they said there was nothing they could do. And that's where the hurt really came in, because this girl had just told us less than 2 minutes before that she felt a pulse, and these guys were telling us there was nothing they could do, And what we think happened is that the girl was wrong. She might have felt a pulse in her thumb or something, and, gave us hope that wasn't there, and it kind of created an unfortunate situation, because I kind of came out of my tree a little bit and started hollering at everybody, how can you tell me there's a pulse 2 minutes ago and now there's nothing? I mean, they didn't do any of the movie stuff. I'll be very honest with you. I had not been close to a death in my life. I'd never seen anyone die other than TV, where they do all that stuff, punching chests, and they give mouth to mouth, and they have those electric shock things. None of that took place, and like those guys just put these little things on his chest, looked at the machine and got a straight line and said there was nothing they could do. And, I felt that they didn't make an effort. I've since explored that, and I know I was wrong, but the emotions of the moment kind of, what did it do? It blew me away. I started to holler, come on, do something. I mean, you guys didn't even try. Maybe the machine is wrong. But nobody was listening to me, It just was, that was my guy was there, and like nobody even took a shot at doing it. So it got kind of panicky for me and Elizabeth, his wife.
August 4th at the Forum in Los Angeles, there will be a concert tribute for Lowell George.
The show will feature Nicolette Larson, Emmylou Harris, Little Feat, the remaining members of Little Feat, Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Brown, Linda Ronstadt. Those are the performers whose names appear on the bill. In addition, there are some 30-odd musicians who, in their own right, are very big names, who, because of the time limitations, the costs of the Forum are such that we can only play for 3 to 3.5 hours and have the thing make sense. So that many musicians who, in their own right, are stars, are going to be like sidemen. playing parts and doing background vocals. It will probably be the most amazing show since Bangladesh or what have you. For example, Mike McDonald from the Doobies is doing background vocals, and Pat Simmons will be there, and there's bunches of people who we can't even accommodate, to be honest with you. Everyone that's in the business that will be in the town that day, or could be in the town, will fly in at their own expense, all those kind of things. Everyone that we know has offered. And it's been truly remarkable. The people, the Eagles have offered, and Led Zeppelin called from Europe, and it's amazing how important the guy was in the music business.
There was at least 20 million things in the works for Lowell when he died. One was a new Little Feat record called Duck Lips, due out in the fall. It's unfortunate that none of us will get the chance to grow old with Lowell George. I'm Mark Goodman for WMMR's Midnight Focus.